The following is a presentation of the Miracle League Sports Network. Welcome back, everyone, to Baseball Brain, the Miracle League of Mercy County podcast. I'm your host, Harrison Milo, alongside Jack Raymond and Dan Zweck and Jeff Fisher, the Executive Director of the Miracle League of North Texas, our guest for this episode. Come on.
What's up, Fish?
How you doing, guys? Hey, Harrison, can you see me?
I see you.
Good. Hey, one second, guys. I think I got some in my teeth.
What are you wearing?
I got some in my teeth, man. Hang on one second. I'll be right back, okay? Hold on.
See, now this is why everybody not only needs to follow our podcast, but follow the YouTube channel to watch the videos so you get what's happening right now.
I got something on my teeth, man. Sorry about that.
Fine. Now we can see you.
You already brought your A game, so I'm thrilled to have you back, buddy.
Are we done then? Harrison, how you doing, buddy?
Good.
I'm happy to see you again, man.
Yeah. The last time we had you on was right after you started your miracle. To hear how you've grown since then.
Man, and it seemed like 20 years ago that we just started out, but we're actually just about to turn 3. We turned 3 in May, and we are now in 2 different locations. So we started out in a town called Flower Mound, Texas. We're in Denton, Texas, too. So we're supporting all kinds of different kids, man. We got 2 locations. We're doing 2 different sports, too. We're doing baseball and basketball. So we're having as much fun as we can have here in North Texas, man.
Speaking of that, someone I heard when I first started doing Miracle League, I was telling someone about it, and someone thought they heard of a Miracle League soccer. I don't know if that is a thing or if there's adapted soccer and it's just not called Miracle League. It could be totally called something else, but
it's a thing, man. There's a Miracle League not far from me. It's probably about 20 miles from where I live in Flower Mound. It's called Miracle League Frisco. So it's a town called Frisco, Texas, and they do lots of different things. They do baseball first, then they did basketball, they do football, they do bowling, they do swimming, and I believe they do soccer as well.
What are they, Special Olympics?
I guess so, man. They got a lot going on, but they've got a lot of people that help them. There's no doubt about that. They have hundreds of volunteers that help them out, and they've got I don't know how many kids. I think they have 300 to 400 kids that they support, which is just awesome.
Is it all?
No. So the baseball facility is pretty good ways from where they play football. As you know here, or maybe you've heard in Texas here, that everything's kind of spread out. So their football field is probably about 5 or 10 miles down the road. But yeah, they've got a bunch of different facilities to do all their fun.
That's cool.
Yeah.
They have a very impressive social media too. I've been following them for a long time, Jeff. You can see they do a ton of great stuff.
Yes, they've got people that run their social media. Unfortunately, I don't know if Dan, you do yours, but I do mine.
Oh yeah.
And I'm 52 years old, Harrison, and I'm not very good at social media.
No, you do a great job, buddy. I love it, and you're only getting better at it too.
Yep. And I'll tell you, Harrison, have you ever played cards?
Yeah.
You have? We've actually. Have you ever played poker? Texas Hold'em poker?
No.
So we just had a poker tournament this past weekend where we had almost 80 people show up supporting Miracle League. It was a big fundraiser for us. I know Dan does a lot of fundraisers up there too, but we had a fundraiser. It was all Texas Hold'em poker, and it was a blast, man. We had so much fun, and we do it. Dan, I know, Dan, you've got an indoor facility, don't you?
We have a couple places that help us out and let us do indoor stuff. So I totally want to steal this idea.
Yeah, man. Do you guys have D-bats up there?
Say that again?
Do you guys have something called D-bat up there?
No. What's that?
The D-bat's a franchise. It's around here in Texas. I think it's in Oklahoma too, but they're all indoor facilities. And this guy at D-bat in Lewisville, Texas, he actually takes all his nets. So Harrison, you've maybe been in one of those indoor facilities before where they've got different cages and different lanes where you can go hit and field. So he takes all his nets and throws them all back, and we put 9 poker tables in there, and it was all just so much fun. And we had a bunch of kids show up too, where they were off in one of the separate lanes, where they're on this HitTrax machine, and they were hitting some bombs, man. It was awesome.
I love that. You guys are using HitTrax. We've been using it for a couple of years now with our winter workouts. It's the coolest. Yep. It's the coolest device ever.
It's cool, man.
I've never come to a winter workout. I might come to that President's Day thing, just to come see the batting cages and everything underneath.
You absolutely should, and you could interview players while you're there, Harrison.
Yeah. I mean,
hey, speaking of winter, can I ask you a question, buddy?
Yeah.
Do you guys have snow on the ground up there?
Nope.
No.
We had it 2 weeks ago. We've had a string of decently warmer weather and a couple of days of like just straight rain. So the rain and the warmer weather melted away. But we got about like 6 inches a couple weeks ago.
We got a lot.
Yeah, we had
a
decent
lot
amount.
of weeks.
We haven't had any down here this year yet.
How often do you get snow down there?
Usually once a year. It might be coming in February or this month, but usually we get one towards the end of January, early February. We don't really get ice though. We don't get snow. We get ice, and it's just closed everything down.
Just makes things messy for you, right?
And I was looking at your website earlier before we were going to get on. That's what I do.
Doing a little research, right?
I look at the different Miracle Leagues, and I noticed on the map, the field is not rubberized, or at least doesn't look rubberized. When was that picture taken, and when did you get it rubberized?
We actually first started our first season shortly after you and I talked the first time. We were just playing on a dirt field, man. It was pretty rugged, especially for the kids in wheelchairs and walkers. But through the process and through my appeals to our town council, just a few meetings, they saw the need. They saw some of the kids that were struggling with just rolling around in a dirt field, and they decided to turf our field for us. So we don't actually have the rubberized surface. We've got a turf field.
That's cool.
Yep.
It looks great. It's absolutely beautiful.
It is nice. And it's a multi-purpose field, so it's not a Miracle League specific field. Like I know you guys have. What do you call it? What's your field called, Harrison? The Miracle Field of Dreams or something?
Yeah.
Bingo.
Is that right?
Bingo.
Yep. So we don't have our very own Miracle League field. We have to deal with the softball people too, because this is actually a softball field. So it's multi-purpose, and I don't know about field availability up where you are, Harrison, but fields are really hard to come by. And we were very lucky to have some people who were on our side and offering up field spots so that we could play every Saturday.
We were, and another thing with that is you could probably, I mean, Dan, you can attest to this, is you can get volunteers. Like, we have 2 to 3 fields next to us, and they all come and volunteer a lot.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
And I think that's the advantage of having multiple fields, in a complex like that.
Yep. And I tell you, Harrison, if you take a look at our field, if you do a Google Map search, if you scroll out from our field, we're field number 11 of 11 in that complex. And that's one of the greatest things about, I think, our field, and it sounds like your field too, is that there's people coming and going that aren't really tied to Miracle League, right? Yeah. So they're seeing this field with a PA system with a bunch of kids who are just having so much fun. We're playing music. We're doing all kinds of stuff. And they're coming over and saying, what is going on over here? Why are they playing a different kind of baseball? They look like they're having more fun than we're having. Certainly.
Which is always true. It's 100% true.
100% true. But it also, Harrison, it exposes more people to the fun that we're having, and it gets them thinking, hey, I might know somebody who can benefit from the joy that's on our field. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, what kind of need to, be a part of Miracle League?
Great question, man. Great question. So I was a baseball coach for many years, just like the commish was, and I coached my son's team. So he's now 15, but when he was 9, I was the head coach of his team. And I looked for ways that these boys could give back to the community and find ways to volunteer elsewhere. And I found Miracle League down in Arlington, Texas. which is where the big Dallas Cowboys play football. We went down to Miracle League our first time, and man, it was just seeing the joy that's on that field. It was the true meaning of the game of baseball, and I left so proud of my 9-year-old boys that they were able to push wheelchairs and hold other boys' hands and have no problems with that. I was very proud of my boys, and we did it at least once a season for the next, I think, 4 years. And during one of those visits down to Arlington, I met a family from Flower Mound, which is where I live. And Flower Mound and Arlington are not very close. They're about 45 minutes apart. So when I was talking to this mom of this family, I said, hey, you drive a pretty good ways. Why do you do that? And she goes, you know what? It's because my boys love baseball. And that's all I had to hear. And that's what got the wheels spinning in my head of, hey, you know what? We could do something like this in Flower Mound too, and make it more convenient not only for this family, but for so many other families that are up here in our area too.
And then not long after that, we met in Houston.
Yeah, man. Yep. And I saw the commissioner's cowboy hat, and I knew he was going to be a friend.
Do you still have that?
Oh, are you kidding? I spent so much money on that hat. I love that hat. It's never going anywhere. That's probably one of my favorite things I've received from any of our 5 years with these national events. Although, Jeff, you got to say, because you got one too, the straw hats that they were selling this past fall in Palm Beach were pretty cool.
And you can imagine down here, man, that will come in very useful.
Oh, yeah.
As soon as we get into late April, early May, it gets hot down here, man. Harrison, have you ever played baseball when it's 100 degrees?
Yeah.
We do it pretty frequently. We don't have very good attendance those days. But yeah, that straw hat that I bought in Palm Beach will come in very handy for those days.
That just came up with another idea that I've had. And Dan and Jack piggyback off of this idea. But I think we should do a baseball brain fantasy baseball league.
That'd be cool.
I'd be up for that, man.
Oh, we get a couple of the directors in on this?
Uh-huh. I'd be up for that. I'm not a very good fantasy football player, mainly because I don't know a whole lot about football, but I certainly know more about baseball than I do football, so I might do well there.
The only baseball fantasy is so tough though, because it's such a long season. You have to stay on top of it.
Yeah,
I've done it. It's fun. It is fun.
Yeah.
We might have to put something together.
Harrison, are you a hockey fan?
No.
Okay, Jack, how about you? Are you a hockey fan?
A little bit.
The only success I've ever had playing fantasy anything was fantasy hockey, and it's because I selected guys who were going to get me penalty minutes, and penalty minutes were points towards our league, and I won because I had a bunch of
picking all Dallas Stars players there.
No, I can't even remember who I had, man. But it was all the fighters, you know.
You're a pretty happy guy these days. I mean, we were talking when we were down there in Florida. I mean, those Rangers had a heck of a year.
Yes,
very,
they did.
very proud of them.
Yes, they did. I wish I had some of my Rangers gear around me. I don't.
Kind of off that. Since you live in Texas, like, what are some of your sports teams?
We've got in this area we've got the Texas Rangers, who obviously are world champions. Mm-hmm. Yes. And I actually I wanted to go to Arizona for that game 6, but wasn't able to make that trip, mainly because it was right before Florida, Dan. Yeah. But we went to Globe Life Field where the Rangers play. They had a big watching party, and there were 25,000 people there. And if I couldn't be in Arizona, that's exactly where I wanted to be, because we were amongst 25,000 other Ranger fans, and we just had a blast. But we got the Rangers, we got the Dallas Stars hockey team, we got the Dallas Cowboys, who are just heartbreaking every single year, or have been for the past 20 years.
I'm an Eagles fan.
There you go. Okay. I might need to turn into an Eagles fan, man, because the Cowboys they break our hearts every single year, man. I mean, I know the Eagles aren't in the Super Bowl, but they seem to have better success than we do. So.
since you were talking about, I went to one of the Phillies playoff games. Since you can see I'm a Phillies fan,
Yep.
I went to one of the games against the Braves. It's pretty cool. It's my
That's
first
awesome.
ever baseball playoff game.
That's cool.
It's pretty cool.
It's a different atmosphere, man. It's a packed house. People are making a lot more noise. It's really fun.
Yeah.
Jack, talk about how loud it gets there at Citizens Bank Park in
When
the playoff game.
when like someone hits like a big home run, you can't even hear yourself talk. It's like
That's how it
You're
should
like-
be. That's really how it should be. I wish Miracle League games were like that, right?
Oh, I know.
There'd be so much noise at a Miracle League game because so many home runs, right?
Well, Harrison, you've seen. I've posted that one video. There was that. This was probably. Oh, geez. Was it probably right before COVID? I think when we had Mercer County Community College baseball with us, and they brought their entire roster. There's like 30 guys, so they're all on the field. We're splitting them up. The field's packed. So many people showed up. It was a night game, and Tanner hit a home run, and we got it on camera. And the reaction of the Mercer County College players just flipping out and screaming and yelling and running and like just totally like barreling and crushing Harrison at home plate.
Yeah.
After he crossed home plate and scored, and we got like I said, we got the whole thing on video. Like you just feel the energy, and I've like always tried to duplicate that since because it feels so good when you see our kids having so much fun succeeding and everybody going nuts like that.
Just
But
joy, man. Yep.
But I didn't hit the home run, but my mom always says, she goes, when someone hits a home run at that field, it's louder than Yankee Stadium.
I believe it. I believe it.
We do get good crowds in our field.
How about that noise? The noise just goes right off that corn that's in your outfield, right?
Yes, sir.
It bounces off that corn and it comes right back at you, and that's where all that noise comes from, right?
It just reverberates off, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So,
Jeff, no joke. I have 2 dates already on schedule for March 23rd and 30th, the 2 weeks leading up to our opening day for spring.
Mm-hmm.
We're getting the field ready. We're tilling the field, getting the corn ready. We're going to plant the corn early this year.
Nice.
and I'm
Nice.
gonna give you. I mean, I know you like grain corn because that's what they use in Field of Dreams. But I'm just thinking, how cool would it be to plant real edible corn and cook it on the grill at the games?
So to Harrison's point, Jeff, the last couple of years we've used field corn,
Okay.
which is basically just the corn that they mash up and use to feed farm animals. And we have a lot of deer that are in the area, obviously. So, but we have the potential to go with either yellow or sweet corn this year. So we might switch it up. We might see a bunch of deers as like new Miracle League mascots coming out into the outfield, chewing up all the corn while we're
But
playing the games.
if
Too
we
much
do
corn.
that,
You put
we
free
do
corn
that-
out there, man, those deer will be fat.
if we do that, will we offer homemade or our fresh homegrown corn on the cob at the concession stand?
Man. Now you're making me want to go to Jersey for a game.
I'll tell you what, Harrison, and you know this. If we have corn that you guys can pick and eat, you're going to be welcome to go and grab it. Every year we try to get you guys, as the players, the kids, to go down to the field and plant the seeds for us. So I think that means you're entitled to go pick a ear of corn or two when
That's cool.
when you're ready to have something on the side with your Jersey burger with that nice giant sliced red tomato. No, nobody does tomatoes like Jersey.
Like if you were gonna pick one or two, what are your one or two favorite memories at Miracle League?
Two favorite memories. Well, one of them was actually from the National All-Star Game in Murfreesboro. So we were outside of Nashville. This was, I guess, what, Dan, 2 years ago?
Yeah, 2 years ago. Yep.
2 years ago. We brought one of our players up. His name's Landon. And Landon sometimes takes a little bit to hit the ball. But when he does connect, the dude connects. And he proceeded, he's coming out there just like usual. He's Hulk Hogan, right? He wants to hear the crowd with the noise. He's, come on, bring it on, more noise. And everybody was cheering for him. And about the ninth pitch that he was thrown, he hit that thing over the fence. And man, it was so awesome. So awesome. And I ran my first instinct. What do you think, Jack, is a parent's first instinct when a child hits a home run over the fence?
Just like scream and like, I don't know, like run or something.
And you know what I did?
What?
My first instinct, go find that ball. Go find that ball. I went and he hit it in the street, man. There was a busy street past that home run fence. He hit it in the street, so I was dodging traffic trying to get this baseball out of the street, but I got it. And we wrote Landon's home run at the All-Star game on the ball, and it was hopefully something he's got in his bedroom somewhere. So
he crushed that ball. There was a little bit of space there with some grass behind the outfield fence, and he launched it clear past it all.
He destroyed it, man. Yep. And I'll tell you what's funny, Harrison, you're a technology guy, right, Harrison?
Yeah.
You know how to do all these podcasts. I don't know much about it at all. I mentioned earlier that I'm not very good at social media at all. That was my first time ever doing a Facebook Live. I actually had to turn to somebody, and it might have been you, Dan. I had to turn to somebody
He was, yeah.
I had to turn to somebody next to me and say, hey, man, how do I do a Facebook Live? And Dan proceeded to show me how to do it, and I got that home run on Facebook Live.
It was awesome.
And that's
Yeah.
because that field is up against the street.
Yep.
It's not in the middle with grass behind it.
They had a really, really nice facility. That giant splash pad in Murfreesboro. Really cool.
Yep. Nice to have David Price back in it.
Yeah, David, a former major leaguer, put a little contribution into it. That's what I think every Miracle League needs, a former major leaguer on their board of directors or helping out in some capacity.
Yep.
Jack, we got to reach out to Bryce Harper. Let's get Bryce Harper.
There you go. So Jack, do you play in New Jersey or you're in Philadelphia? I know that everything's so packed up up there.
Yeah, I play in New Jersey.
Okay,
But
you're a Phillies fan.
my dad is a Philadelphia everything.
Okay, is Philadelphia close to where you guys are? I don't even know.
Yeah, it's like 40 minutes away, but he lived like 10 minutes away from there. So
Cool.
So we're in a weird spot, Jeff, where because, like you said, like everything's just jam-packed up here in the Northeast, we're about 40 minutes from Philly, like Jack said, but we're just under an hour from New York. And where we are, we're almost like dead smack in the middle. So like when you get your cable package, right, you have your local stations, your local affiliates, your CBS, your New York, or your CBS, your Fox, all that, right? We get New York and
Let's erase that little bit of technical.
yeah, we'll cut that part out.
We'll cut that part out. But hey, I want to go back to what Dan was talking about, how things are real close together up there.
Yeah.
Do you guys know I could drive 10 hours south, and still be in Texas.
That's remarkable.
From where I
Because
live.
Texas is the biggest state.
No, it's not.
It's not Alaska.
There you go. Yep.
How far were you from Houston when you went for the All-Star weekend?
Yep. We're about 4.5 to 5 hours from Houston. And then you keep driving down there, and you get to Corpus Christi and McAllen down there. And that's the furthest point south of Texas. That's a long, long ways away.
So you think about that. You drove 5 hours and you were still within the state.
Yep.
If I drove 5 hours right now, I could be in Pittsburgh.
Oh,
you could be in Maine.
Massachusetts.
Dan.
Yeah, you'd be up in Massachusetts. Yeah.
And Dan, what I wanted to talk about last week, remember how we had Brian on and we were betting how long it is to his field? I looked it up. It's only 3.5 hours.
It's not far. They're not far.
It's not far at all. It's closer than I thought it was.
Absolutely.
Which league are you talking about, Harrison?
In Western Massachusetts.
Oh, cool.
Springfield, so the home of the Basketball Hall of Fame.
Gotcha. That'd be a fun road trip for you guys.
I'm going to hopefully.
We're trying to bring them to us.
Oh, cool.
I'm hopefully.
How do you and Jack know each other? Are you guys on the same team?
No. So
How do you
Jack
guys-
is a volunteer for Miracle League.
Okay, gotcha. Awesome. So you're a buddy, Jack.
yeah,
Awesome, man. Are you Harrison's buddy frequently?
I went a few times. I gotta get to more this year. Last year I had my all-star team. We went kind of far. We won
You got to,
district.
yeah. Jack, talk
Tell me
about
more.
that for a
Tell me
second.
about that, man.
Tell Jeff about what you guys did last summer.
So when I was 10, our team won states, and we were undefeated throughout states. when we were 11, we won states again, but we lost the game, but we still won states. But then we went to Massachusetts to play in the regionals. We lost in the championship. And then this year we won districts, and then we lost in the sectional finals. But that ended in like August. But last year was my last year of like Little League, so now I'll have more time to be free.
Awesome, man. Awesome. What age group did you play this year?
This year I'm gonna be 13. I'm playing my first year of like a Babe Ruth.
Okay. Now is that 60-90 format?
Mm-hmm.
Cases?
Yeah, I did my first year was this fall. We had like a kind of like a trial run this fall for 60-90.
Yep. Man, and I'll tell you what, you make that move. I can't even remember what they were before, but those bases are a long ways away.
Yeah. Yeah, it goes from 46. It goes from 46-60 to 60-90, and just like
that's pretty brutal. Yep. My son just had his first. He's a freshman in high school, and they just had their first game last night, and he plays for the freshman team of the team that won state in Texas last year. And you can imagine there's a lot of teams in Texas, man. But this high school that he goes to is they won state last year, so they're a pretty good little group.
I forget what high school has the largest football field in the world, but
I'd be willing to bet it's somewhere down here in Texas.
I know that's
I would put money on that.
I know that's where the largest football field is. It's in Allen, Texas. I don't know where that is.
Yeah, that's right down the road from me, man. That's not far at all. And I'll tell you what, they spent millions of dollars on that. Millions.
Oh, so you know where that is?
I know exactly where that is. It's the Allen Eagles. Yep, and they're a huge school. I mean, it's I can't even remember what the graduating class was. It's over 1,000 kids in their graduating class. But yeah, but they're
my gosh.
What's up?
I just looked it up. I looked it up. I Googled it real quick. Eagles Stadium in Allen, Texas.
Yep.
This thing is massive.
Yes. Check out the stands. I mean, they got a press box, an enormous press box for this field.
Have you been there?
I have not been there. Nope. I've been to places that are not that much smaller that still have. Yeah, there you go. That's it.
Are you share? How did you share your screen?
I have the share button down here, so I figured I would share it. So there, check that out. That's it.
That's cool.
Look at that. That's unbelievable. Wow. That's better than like all of the Division III and Division. Like this is better than Princeton University.
Yep. Bigger in Texas, baby. Bigger in Texas.
And if you look,
Texas is a great state. I love Texas.
If you look at their cafeteria, it looks like a mall food court.
Yep.
Wow.
They've got a Subway and a Chick-fil-A in their high school cafeteria, I think.
Harrison, that's one of many down here. There's one down in Houston. I think it's Cypress Fairbanks. They've got a huge facility as well. Yep.
Remarkable.
I know that's where the largest football field is, but I forget where baseball is.
So this is where we got to start designing Miracle League fields to look like this.
Oh, man. Yep.
I've said that for years.
You build it, they'll come, right? You build it, they'll have 30 or 40,000 people. And I'm not kidding, man. That Allen field holds, I'll bet 40,000 people, maybe 50,000. And on Friday nights down here for football, it is packed.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. That's unbelievable.
40,000? It's like the Philly Stadium.
Yeah, exactly.
That's absolutely unbelievable. $60 million on the
construction. Is that right? Man. Yeah, we all pay for that stuff, but whatever. It's because it's football and it's Texas and how we roll.
Can we take like 3% of that?
Exactly, man. Exactly. Yep.
I want
my own field. I just want my own field, man.
We're gonna make it happen. I'm telling you, we're gonna make it happen.
Yep. I'm still working on it.
Are you doing a golf outing? We talked about this.
I'm gonna work on that in the fall. Yep. I'm gonna do that in the fall. We're gonna do poker in the winter/spring, and then golf in the fall. So
love it.
I will keep you up to date on the when we pick a date.
Sweet.
Yep, because I'd love to have you down here. Harrison, you ever play golf?
Mini golf, but no.
Mini golf. What? Are you good at it? I'll bet you're better than I am.
Yeah, well, no, mostly no.
He was apprehensive to answer that question. Jack, how about you? You play golf?
No, I want to go soon though. I want to go with my dad.
This is like a perfect time to like get you into it. And your dad's a good dude. Like, I'll go out with you guys.
13's a perfect year, man. Yep.
It's a great game. It's such a great
Hey,
game.
Jack, I got a question for you, man. What's your favorite thing about being a buddy?
Good.
It's just it's just making people happy. Like
Good answer.
whenever I'm doing it and like someone like laughs at one of my jokes or something, it just it feels great.
Yep. And it's all through. The greatest part about this, man, is it's all through the same sport that you play so competitive, right? I mean, you're going to states and you're doing regionals and winning championships. Take it to our level on the Miracle League field, still the same amount of joy, just fewer parents yelling and screaming, right? Nobody's yelling at umpires. That's the greatest thing about it.
Some things part of the game never change, and that's one of them.
Yep.
Wow, that's a 34
ready?
episode already.
Are you ready?
Harrison, what's your favorite position to play on the field?
First base.
First base?
Yeah.
You can catch all those throws? Do you ever make short hops?
What?
You ever make short hops? You ever catch those short hops that come to you?
Sometimes.
That's what my son plays first base. He's pretty good at that.
I work with
Okay.
him. I try to throw those short hops over to him, get him to land right in his glove.
The problem is you're trying to throw it all the way to him.
Oh, with my rag arm, it's toast, man.
When we redid our field, we wrote chalk all over our field, and that I wrote it on first base.
Oh, that's sweet. That's your home, right? Harrison's home? Is that what you wrote? Tell me about that, man. How is it different? So you guys have a new surface this year, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So are you still rolled rubber, or is it now? What is it now?
It's antimicrobial sand surface.
So you're
So
playing on.
It's a turf.
Okay, gotcha.
But instead of a traditional turf that has like the rubber granulated pellets that are in it, it's an antimicrobial sand as the filler.
We got
The pile cut
Yep.
is
We got
much
the-
shorter.
We got the exact same thing. And you probably saw it when they built your field or when they resurfaced it. We had these enormous bags of sand, and I'll bet they had 10 of them. And they just pushed it all into the turf. They poured it on the turf first, and I'm like, what are you guys doing?
Yeah.
You're on the turf. But no, man, they knew what they were doing, and it just digs into that turf, and that's your base. And it's all. The cool part about it is, man, it's all white. So you mentioned those little rubber pellets.
Yeah.
Those soaked up the heat, right? So down
Exactly.
here we don't want that because it gets hot. So we got this white sand. I think it's actually a combination of sand / really fine peanuts or something like that. Peanut shells, and it takes the heat out of it, which is great for us.
You
All right.
nailed it right on the head. That's the reason why we switched to the surface, because we wanted to extend and do our programs longer into summer.
Nice.
And
Yeah.
by going to that, it's like saving us, 20, 25 degrees on the field surface.
Yeah,
It
man.
literally just absorbs the sun rays and takes the heat away
Yep.
from reflecting off and, making everybody hot.
Harrison, do you like the turf surface better than the old rubber?
Yeah, I do, because it looks like a real baseball field.
There you go. Nice.
It does look really good.
That's to you.
I was the first player to roll on that.
Sweet. What an honor, man. That was nice.
Once it was done, his family was the first to come out and get like a sneak peek, and they got to walk on the field. This picture right above me, this is the old one. That's the old. That's the rubber surface. I have the aerial shots, but I gotta get a new
Yep.
canvas here. Put it up, and we'll have like the comparison in here. All my other,
You
all
should
my
do
other
like
stuff on the wall.
you should do like a collage, like
I got tons of stuff on the wall.
of both. One picture of both. There's like half and half pictures.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Hey, Harrison, to be the first person on the field, you must know somebody with influence, right?
Yeah.
Who is that?
He's on the
He's
call.
the host. He's the host. He's the
commish. It's the commish. Okay, I got it.
Well, look, if we do this fantasy baseball league, Harrison becomes the commish.
There you go.
For that,
Oh,
yeah.
Then things get really interesting.
Exactly.
All right. This is Baseball Brain Podcast. I'm Harrison Milo alongside Jack Raymond and Dan Schweck and Jeff Fisher, the executive director of the Miracle League of North Texas, our guest for this episode. We're signing off. Today's Baseball Brain Podcast is brought to you by our friends at East State CrossFit. East State CrossFit will bring out the best in your player. Visit their website for more information.
Baseball is great and I wanna play it so much, but it's hard for me, sometimes it can be too tough. I'd give anything just to come up to the plate and swing. Then I heard about a really cool thing coming to our town. They're gonna build a field so kids like me can get around. Everybody's pitching in, looks like we're gonna win. It's a miracle to me. I'm playing baseball, it's a sight to see. We got it all under the lights. I'm a star tonight. Looks like I'm living the dream, 'cause I'm playing on the Miracle League. I'm playing baseball, it's a sight to see. We got it all under the lights. I'm a star tonight. Looks like I'm living the dream, 'cause I'm playing on the Miracle